being a politician, even a local council, is a very demanding indeed, probably quite a stressful job if, you actually do the job, not like these reform people. But there is, of course, multiple, of course, occasions where politicians maybe got a bit too hot under the collar, said things or even did things, or in the case of, John Prescott, lamp someone again. Always, yeah. Had a bit of a history on that front. But what you've got here today is a reform councillor has resigned over serious racism allegations. And instead of, reform saying, "Oh yes, we're getting rid of him." No, instead, the official line from Reform was, "Oh, it all just got a bit too much for him. He just got a bit under pressure, and then he threatened a black family." By threatening them to use the N word and threatening to set the EDL on them, and that you better have some body bags ready. Just Yeah, it all just got a bit too much for him, bless him. What? I can't believe they think that's a good enough thing. Any other party would be throwing this guy completely under the bus, distancing themselves as far as they possibly could. But no, not Northamptonshire Reform, who've just gone. He just got a bit too stressed. Anyway, let's dig in and find out more about this. So, before we do, though, please do remember to click on the like, share, and of course, subscribe button. Down below, of course, there is the Patreon page, there's the Buy Me Coffee link, there's the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there's the YouTube membership down below as well. So, thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel. And of course, don't forget to click the like, share, and the subscribe button. And of course, the ring the bell as well so that you get notifications of when we go live as well. So, with that all said and done, thank you very much. Let's crack on then into this. Because, oh boy. So, Corby Reform Councillor resigns over serious racism allegations. And trust me, these are pretty serious. So, Councillor Bloom from the Lloyds and Corby Old Village has now left his role following accusations he used the N-word against a black family who lived close by him. He had been in the post for just under 4 months after he was part of Reform's council-winning team in the May local elections. A neighbour told this newspaper that he shouted the N-word at her repeatedly and then said he would set the far-right English Defence League on her and told her there'd be body bags. And it's not just that there are witnesses to this. This isn't just like one person. There are witnesses to this. That is insane. But once again, Reform's vetting process letting them down again. Anyway, the woman, of course, then reported her concerns to the council. And on Thursday, August the 26th, Councillor Bloom has now resigned from the party, triggering a by-election which will now cost the taxpayer £27,000. So, yet another by-election. Anyway, the neighbour, who we are now choosing not to name to protect her from online abuse, said that her family now moved from the south of England into the house near Councillor Bloom back in July, and he immediately targeted them. The British family, who described their heritage as African West Indian, were asked by Councillor Bloom if they believed in borders and in reparations for slavery. Holy moly. They told Councillor Bloom that they were not interested in politics, but he then proceeded to describe his views on a range of nationalities. The neighbour told our reporters, he told me that we, African people, wanted to be civilized by the British and went in and conquered you. We sold ourselves into slavery. I looked him right in the face and said, "You're racist," and walked away. The neighbours then attempted to improve relations with Councillor Bloom and invited him round to eat with them, saying, "I thought we'd kill him with kindness," she said. Well, as you'll about to see, that turned out to be quite a mistake. This approach did not work, and Councillor Bloom allegedly then took offence to them playing the music of Bob Marley and repeating the racist slur then several times. Later that evening, Councillor Bloom allegedly then threatened to set the English Defence League on the family. On another occasion, he then told the family to go back to where they came from and said that there would be body bags. He also now allegedly threatened to use his position to block any applications they submitted to the council. "How can this man be a councillor and represent us?" said the neighbour. Like I say, we aren't yet at what Reform UK have got to say about this. So he also said, "How can they say it? So concerned, of course, was she about her safety that she then recorded the hours-long rants directed at her by Councillor Bloom. These recordings have then been made available to council officials as well as this newspaper. The allegations were then reported by the North Northamptonshire Council's monitoring officer and to Reform officials who pledged to investigate, prompting Councillor Bloom's resignation." So he resigned before any of this could kick in. Anyway, there have, of course, been serious previous concerns raised over the course of Reform's vetting process after, of course, a number of serious issues. But in the summer, the party loosened then these restrictions, encouraging people who had previously been rejected to apply again to represent the party because they were desperate to get people on the lists. The detailed allegations now have been put to Councillor Bloom's representative, who said that he did not deny any of them. He said he is standing down as a councillor. It is obvious to all that it got a bit too much for him. Oh, yeah, it just got a bit too much for him that he decided to start, racially abusing his neighbour. Anyway, a Reform insider then told this newspaper that the public should be reassured that Councillor Bloom had no links to the EDL, a defunct far-right Islamophobic group. Councillor Bloom had no interest to register on his councillor's declaration of interest. He described himself as retired. He previously described himself as having 16 years of credible private sector experience in operational programming governance in IT, big data, and aerospace defense. And then this is where it starts to get a bit odd from Reform on these comments. Councillor Martin Griffiths, the leader of Reform Northamptonshire County Council, said, "I fully respect Councillor Robert Bloom's decision to resign from the council, which he has done for personal reasons." After seeing all that, this guy felt comfortable, and all these allegations, this guy felt comfortable saying, "Oh yeah, I respect him, but he's resigned from the council for personal reasons." Not that he was being an absolute racist. I mean, Jesus, there's recordings according to this report as well. Anyway, he went on to continue. "The role of an elected member can, of course, be very rewarding, but it can also be very challenging at times, particularly when trying to balance the demands of the role with personal commitments." Not even going to address any of those accusations, are they? Councillors, of course, play a vital role in the local community, and residents, of course, deserve their full attention. It is very important the residents of Lloyds and Colby Old Village have made the opportunity now to elect a new representative to try and champion their cause and to make sound decisions in the interest of residents of North Northamptonshire. Yeah, not even addressing those commons at all, are you? Jesus. I mean, I'm sorry, but I would expect any leader, any sensible leader, to say, yeah, we do not agree with those comments. We find them absolutely boring and disgusting, and we're glad that he quit because at least it saved us, a long or lengthy investigation process to at least get rid of him. I mean, in the reporting right there, it said there were recordings hours long. But no, resigned for personal reasons. Jesus. I mean, what can you even say about that? What can you even say about that? I mean, madness. So, as always, let me know what you think about this down below. And of course, as always, click on the like, share, and subscribe button on your way out, and we'll see you all next time.